Now we're live, by the way.
Now we're live.
Yeah, but it's really confrontational because, do you realize it?
Not always. I think it's just my humor.
You gotta be a little bit closer. I want you to have a more crisp voice, like this.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, that's better.
That's really, really good.
Have people told you about that?
That my jokes are confrontational?
Not only in jokes, like sometimes I don't think you're even making a joke. I think that's just your speaking style. I never get pissed off yet.
Okay, but you're close.
No, it's not even close, but I'm just saying like I get the feeling I should, but because I have such a high tolerance for
I see.
things as well. So I would expect if somebody don't have that level of tolerance like I do, they will be pissed off by you. And you don't even have the bad intention. That's the thing. I don't think you're intentionally pissing anybody off.
Nope. It's just the way I am, I think. And I mean, previously with the empty stomach, oh man, with the empty stomach, I can piss off people quite often.
No, have people told you about it? Like, or did you sense it before? Like, people get pissed off?
Never. Just the opposite, actually.
Dude, that's a weird thing about you. You're like such a mellow guy. Like, generally, I get like a very mellow vibe off you, but at the same time, you get that confrontational side. You know, like you almost feel like you're poking people for a reaction. I don't get how is that combination working out for you. It's really bizarre. Like, where did you get this?
From my mother. I have no idea. I have these kind of very two different sides to me. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that people have told me. Yeah. That I can, and I'm still in control of this, but like especially with my humor and with my jokes.
It's really hard to follow up your joke as well. Like you kind of have those one line finish. Mm-hmm. And once you said that, there's no way for me to finish it. Like there's no way for me to follow up to that. Like it's merciless. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. I have to say, one of my friends, she told me that, like, I'm very dominant when I do jokes. Like, and if the other person doesn't follow up or can't like understand, I don't get upset or anything. I just like it kind of makes it uncomfortable for me because I like kind of expect other people to understand the jokes, which are usually the ones that
they
are
understand.
difficult to understand.
I think they understand. The thing is, like, to have a smart answer to that.
Yeah,
like, it takes a lot of energy.
Right, the reaction like to it is difficult too.
Does it piss you off when people don't give you a reaction?
No, it doesn't. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I expect people to do it.
You should expect more from you because you fucking make it super difficult to follow up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my humor.
I think like I'm not funny. Like I think I'm just honest. Sometimes that honesty come across as funny.
Yeah.
For some people, but in your case, like you say something when we're walking outside, it's like, well, I really want to answer to that because it is funny, but it got so much power in there. Like,
interesting. Can you bring an example?
I can't top that, you know. Let's just not go backward, but let's just say at the moment, the one I remember very vividly, the one that when I was moving you back and forth, right? And you're like, oh, I can move. That established a power dominance right there. Mm-hmm. Like how do I follow up on that? Like, well, yeah, you can move. That's a stupid answer. Like you can't do that. Or I'm pretty sure there are people out there who can follow up on that. I'm not that one. Mm-hmm. I can't. Like I respond to people who leave a little bit of a breathing room for me. Like in your case, I don't know how that works. Like it's
there's a lot of sarcasm and irony in my jokes.
Yeah,
that's
like,
sometimes difficult to handle.
It is true. Plus, like when you say it, like you don't laugh.
Yeah. That's you touched upon a very I don't know if it's a problem, but it's a phenomenon in my family that I have established, like a position where people in my family or even friends, they sometimes get mad at me because I don't, I say everything with a straight face, even the jokes. And so I've started to, like, sometimes I say a white lie or just a lie in a joke
Yeah.
or as a joke.
Yeah, I
And
still
then
think you had syphilis, man.
Come on.
Dude, that wasn't... I really didn't realize it. It lingered on for so...
Oh man. Then it worked. It's good. The joke worked.
It depends on what you think as working. Like, it worked too well.
Yeah.
Like, I was in the gym and I was literally there on my phone Googling, what is syphilis? What's a symptom? Is it contagious? We're gonna have this podcast, and 2 days before you told me you had syphilis. And the entire fucking time when we were having the conversation, you didn't mention like a word or had like a smallest laugh in there. No, it was just straight face like, yeah, I got syphilis.
That's me.
Yeah, that's something, man.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's something.
Has it changed throughout the years?
I think it has, actually. I think it has. I mean, I didn't. I was a let's say a performer during the school already. Like I like to like
Performing what?
Like just performing music or performing like theater.
Okay.
In school, but I never did that much sarcastic or ironic jokes.
Okay.
This came later. I think during my stay in Berlin, I started to follow like other comedians, and then
who do you like?
I think right now Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would be my most favorite.
He's not as dominant as you, man. You leave a lot of room for the guest.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say I am like he is, but it's just I've taken a little bit from everybody.
And I never hear you doing self-deprecation the way he does. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think you're like, by essence, a very proud man. You don't do a lot of self-deprecating stuff.
Yeah. I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you lower yourself to a position to say things bad about yourself?
I would actually. I think I'm not doing that enough to make it like really, really chill in the conversation and to make it really funny.
Yeah.
I have touched upon it a little bit. But yeah, I think it's right to say that I'm a proud man in the sense that I still have to learn to do these kind of self-deprecating jokes.
So 3 years in Berlin.
3, yeah.
Why Berlin? We got a Chinese program here in Estonia. Why Berlin?
Yeah, I didn't want to stay in Estonia. I wanted to go away and see the world. Because I went to a German school here in Tallinn.
Which one?
The
Kadriorg?
Nope, the Mustamäe one.
There's a German school in Mustamäe?
Yeah.
That sounds odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like a proper German school in a way that you have teachers coming from Germany who teach only like subjects only in German.
Like, were you already good in high school in speaking German?
No, that's the thing. I wasn't. I'd only learned German for 3 years before I changed school and went to Mustamäe. And then like suddenly every subject like math, physics, chemistry, history, everything was in German.
In high school?
Yeah.
But after high school graduation, like, were you already good, fluent?
Then I think I was, yeah. I think it was a very, very fast process. Like the language learning process was very, very fast.
You're good with language, eh?
I would say so, but I mean, I cannot speak that many. But it's just like if I really take one language and start learning it, then it comes pretty fast, yeah.
So Chinese, Mandarin, German, Estonian, what else? English,
a little bit of Russian.
What do you mean by a little bit?
Well, I mean, on paper I have I think B1 or B2.
Yeah.
But in practice I actually have like A1. So
you
like,
can't hold a conversation?
Not really. I mean, now going around Estonia, doing the donations thing.
Yeah.
Some people have been Russians, obviously. And so...
You just ditch?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, with one man, I managed to go through the whole sales cycle.
But your Chinese is way better.
It is. Okay. It's funny, actually. Every time I want to speak in Russian, only Chinese words come to mind.
They say, like, there's this theory, like, whenever you can't use a language, the next best one coming to mind. Like, it's not your best language coming to mind. Like, it's the next best one than the one that you're already speaking. Say your weakest one is Russian. And then the one next up will be the substitute that your mind goes to when you can't express yourself with that lowest level one.
So that's the second best, you mean?
Yeah, the second best, or the second worst in your case.
Second worst.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. Chinese is definitely not my second best language.
The second worst, because when I was learning Japanese, I feel like because I only speak 3 languages: Japanese, Chinese, and English, right? So when I was learning Japanese really hard, my native tongue is Chinese, of course, and then the English would be the second best and the second worst simultaneously.
Mhm.
So when I was learning really hard on Japanese, I started to realize a lot of my thinking, a lot of my automatic kind of, response would goes to English instead of Chinese. I translate a lot from English to Japanese because, you're replacing the second place because your third language now is excelling, right? It's going up. Well, I think once my Japanese got better than English, which never happened, I think if that were to happen, it will start to kind of gradually going up and competing with the Chinese one. I will start to think more in Chinese while trying to, learn better Japanese, I think. I don't know where I heard about it, but it makes sense to me. It's kind of like replacing theory.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it happens with Russian than with me.
Are you still actively learning Chinese?
Not at the moment. I mean, I'm reading in Chinese, yes. Like news and
You can read?
Touche.
Wait. But seriously, you can reading Chinese?
Yeah, I'm reading this. I bought this book in I think it was in Nanjing actually when I was there, and I bought the.
What is it?
80天环球
80 Days Around the World?
Yeah, this one. Like, I mean, it's a children's book, basically.
Can you finish the title in Chinese? Just for those people who doubt that if you speak Chinese or not.
What was that? I can't remember. 80天环球
You fucked up there.
something.
Just
环游
Yeah.
环游全球 something like that.
世界.
Oh, 世界 okay.
Yeah,
world,
world.
not the globe.
World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say it again.
80
Close to the mic. Yeah.
80天环游世界
Can you say it more fluently, please?
80天环游世界
That's it. That's sad, man.
Yeah. But no, the short answer is no, that I'm not actively learning Chinese, but I'm definitely planning on doing the HSK
Why?
in Beijing.
Why did you start it? I guess I'm super curious. I think I probably asked this before, right? Like, why did you get into Chinese? You don't like Chinese girls. I know that already.
That would be a very silly reason to start learning Chinese as well. I mean, I think it's very common though.
It is,
It is very, very common.
especially in terms of Japanese.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as you said, I've always liked languages before, and that's why I changed school in Estonia to go and learn everything in German.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as I knew that I definitely wanted to go to Germany after high school, not stay in Estonia, then the first thought was actually to study music. Because I'm playing the violin for the last, let's say, 13 years,
Mm-hmm.
playing the guitar, sing a little bit. And so, like, music is really the thing I love the most. But then it was basically part my laziness and part the difficulty of the exams for music high schools
Mm-hmm.
that were kind of in the way. And then I kind of ditched this plan, and then I knew that, okay, I want to study like a new language.
But why Chinese though?
The Chinese wasn't actually the first choice I had. The first one was actually Norwegian and Scandinavian cultures that I wanted to study here in Estonia, and I applied it here and in Berlin as well. But then at the same time, I kind of found Chinese. It was actually pretty spontaneous. I didn't have a plan, like a master plan to, okay, now I'm going to study Chinese and then I'm going to do that and that and that. I just stumbled upon it, and then I got the acceptance letter from Berlin.
Yeah.
At the same time, I got the acceptance letter for Norwegian and Scandinavian cultures, and then I thought... like,
where? In Tartu?
In Tartu and in Berlin as well.
Okay.
And so I thought, like, which one would be the better
So there was
one for
almost
the future.
no exposure to Chinese previous to college.
Zero.
Okay.
Zero to culture, zero to language, nothing.
Were you familiar with Chinese culture in general before that? Like, did you know anything Chinese related?
I mean, the stereotypical things like noodles and
Okay.
like no, it was close to zero. Like my knowledge about China, and
Just dropped into it.
yeah, I did. And the funny thing is, like in China, I kind of felt that I bloomed. Like being in Berlin, I didn't like.
Bloomed.
Yeah,
That's a good word.
yeah, because like I mean, like my personality or just me as a person.
Okay.
Because in Germany,
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
sure. I mean,
What do you mean?
it goes along the way that you said that I'm a proud man, right? And I think
I guess if you want to repeat that compliment, yeah, sure.
no, I wouldn't say that it's a compliment. It's just like I don't know the way I am because I feel that I am very important to myself. I mean, it sounds very arrogant sometimes, but it's just the thing, just the way I am, and then my own development is important to me as well. And in Berlin, I kind of felt that I'm stuck in a way because, like, I think I didn't get the outward, what's the word? Like gratification, right? Or like, and that's something that I.
Do you mean approval by other people
or
around
approval?
you?
Yeah. I think that's the word. And because I mean now I've started, especially after China, to understand that it's that I don't need that much anymore. But previously I definitely did. And then in China, one thing that I got was exactly this, like in terms of because I'm like a Western guy, and then I was singing there on stages and like it was fun and everybody was like clapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that in the beginning. It was a little bit like, let's say for the first 2 months,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was loving it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by like by blooming. Like I was really enjoying what I was doing. People were like also enjoying and approving what I was doing.
Validation, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
But afterwards, it I have to be honest, it got a little annoying, like all the attention in China. But apart from that, I really enjoyed it. Like going around the country and then seeing the different. Now we're back.
Gently tap it. Yeah.
And then I saw different people in China as well that really opened my mind.
You were there for like a year, right?
Yeah, exactly 1 year.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine. Like, you just dropped into this. Like, people normally, I don't know, people have reasons to do it, you know? But you're good. Like, you're really good at Chinese. 3 years. Like, I've seen people who are doing it way longer than you. They're not even as close, as good, you know, as close as you, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the reasons I think I catch these languages pretty fast is music actually, and violin. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think it's like the kind of musical ear that takes these languages in more easily.
Yeah.
Than usually. Yeah.
Huh. Did you tell people you were Estonian back then when you were in China?
爱沙尼亚这个是什么？是什么吃的吗？
Or did you tell people you're German?
I did say I was German or Russian.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not proud of that.
Wait, is that a joke right now?
It's not a joke. This I swear to God, this is not a joke. I did say that I was German or Russian, and very seldom that I was Estonian. Why? Because
very rarely you were Estonian in China.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really depends on the situation. For example, when I was in an elevator with a Chinese person.
Yeah.
So I was white, blonde, okay, obviously a foreigner, a white Korean. And then if they asked where I'm from, and I knew that the ride with the elevator is going to take, let's say, 20 seconds more, not longer.
Yeah.
Then I just said that I was from Germany because that's easier. If I say that I'm from Estonia, they might not know where it is, and the conversation might go longer.
Yeah. And you don't want that.
And I don't want that in an elevator.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's like a genuine conversation, I know it's okay, I'm like spending the night with these people here, then sure. I said that I'm from Estonia.
Uh-huh.
And but it's, yeah, I'm not proud of saying that either, but like sometimes with the taxi drivers, they like knowing that, or let's say not knowing but expecting that they wouldn't know what Estonia is or where it is. I just said that I'm from Russia. That was easier.
Are there actually Estonians living in China right now?
There are around 100 people.
Like besides students?
That's including students.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like
think-
besides you guys who go there and just study the language and all that.
Although
are there people actually long-term living there?
There are, yeah.
Yeah?
There are. I mean, we have like a Chinese Estonians in China WeChat group,
Yeah?
and there are, I think, around 100 people there, including a couple of students. But I think not all the students who go like for one semester, they're not in the group.
What are they doing there?
They are, I don't know, like
Working?
some are, yeah, like the majority of them are working, and
Married?
some are like Estonian men who have Chinese wives. Some are Estonian women who might have Chinese men. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
I think the other way around is more common.
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? Tell me. Like, I'm really curious.
Why like foreign men take more Chinese women and not the other way around?
No, don't go general on this one. I'm just talking very specific. Estonian and Chinese.
Like why Estonian men marry Chinese women, you mean?
More often.
More often.
Like you just stated. Not the other way around.
Yeah.
What's the reason? In your opinion. There's no need to be censoring yourself right now.
I have no idea actually.
Just go hard on us, man.
I'm not sure. I think it's very personal. I cannot like generalize really.
Yeah, well, if it's so personal, why is a general trend like that?
I have actually never thought about it like that. I mean, it's one thing is looks. I think that Chinese women really like, I don't know, from TV shows or I don't know from where, like really crave for this like Western look.
Okay.
White like bias to the pifu, right?
And Chinese guys are like, nah, we like our woman.
I mean, there are also like more Chinese women than men, right? So they have more.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, the other way around. More Chinese men than women, right?
The number is so big. I think the difference is not noticeable anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, I think. So what do you think? I got a theory.
Tell me.
I got a theory. It's hard to spell it out. Speculation only.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking guys when they go somewhere, no, I don't have a theory.
That was a good start. When guys go somewhere. Oh no, sorry, that's not it.
I really don't know. The same kind of I noticed something similar here. You see a lot of Estonian girls with foreigner guys, I would say, but not the other way around, to be honest. Not so many Estonian guys and let's say with black girls or girls from other European country. I don't notice that as often. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying racially. No, not racially. It's just like percentage-wise.
Oh, ratio. You mean?
Ratio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, percentage-wise. I would say like definitely there's a lot more Estonian girls are dating foreign guys. I hear foreigners talking about the reason why they came to Estonia, male foreigners. Like, it's a very common tale when they tell me, like, or you, like, hey, yeah, I met this Estonian girl, that's why I'm here.
Right.
That's a very common story, right? But have you heard like a foreign girl who come up like, yeah, I met this Estonian guy, that's why I'm here? Never heard that. Not even once.
You know, I have this. You definitely cannot generalize, but I was thinking about one person, a guy, and who didn't have a chance in Germany with no chance, no luck with girls.
What's wrong with him?
And I don't know. I'm not sure.
Is he Chinese?
No, he's German.
He's white.
He's white, and then he came
It's
to
definitely
China,
something wrong.
and then he found it. So he found a girl there, and now they're together, I think. And so it's like it's a way out, you know.
Get out.
Like
It's a way out for whom?
for the guy.
Or for the girl? Who knows?
Well, it might be both ways, but
In all kinds of ways, you have to explore the possibilities.
exactly.
Who knows who's trapping whom? You know, like you never know. Huh?
But with him, I thought like because he didn't have any luck in his home country, then he just went out.
Are you popular here in Estonia?
I don't know.
In my opinion, you're not ugly.
Oh well, thank you. May I touch your knee?
You see, that's what I talked about. Like, it's really hard to follow up.
Yeah.
Any kind of attempt to answer to that, it's gonna make me look super better or super insecure. Like,
yeah.
when you say, like, can I touch your knee? I can't just say no.
You
That's defensive.
You know what the only best solution is?
Yeah, tell me.
Just go one level further. You just start to like.
Can I touch your penis?
Yeah, exactly. Something like this. Exactly. exactly. That's the reaction I was looking for.
You see, like, that's the thing that I'm, like, afraid to go venturing to because
Right.
you guys have that gaming. Well, we had that game in middle school. It's like two guys trying to pretend like they're tough, and they're going like closer and closer. Like, oh, you want to go? You want to
Okay.
go? Until like one guy back off a little bit too late, and then kiss each other.
Oh boy.
That's a weird situation right there. You can't one up each other forever. One guy have to back down, but it depends on whom. Like,
But I mean, if I make the joke and you just like counter it with like even more. Like
would you
level joke,
stop? That's,
yeah, I would.
That's my point.
Yeah, exactly. I would.
Okay.
And now the microphone has stopped. The headphones. Yeah, I would. I think. I mean, for me personally,
Okay,
that's like a zero-sum game.
All right. Well, let's try it next time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's try it. I was hesitant because of the bad experience in middle school. I ended up kissing so
Don't be
many dudes.
afraid.
It was
Pinch
not.
don't be
It was
afraid.
not good. But yeah, are you popular here?
You mean among girls or among?
In general, like whatever you want to, whatever you like, I guess.
The level of hesitation in this sentence was astronomical. Whatever you like. I don't know. It's a weird question. I don't know. Nobody has asked me this. Am I popular here? I think I am.
Okay.
I mean, I don't seek popularity here in per se. Like I'm fine with just like strolling around.
A girl. Did you say strolling around?
Yeah.
What that means?
You know, with the like old people go with the
Yeah, the
with
little stroller.
Yeah, I go with
Yeah.
this. Like I go shopping with this.
I have a feeling that's a joke.
It is a joke.
Yeah.
You see, you're getting no.
Wait, are you? Let me be more specific. Are you popular amongst girls, like in high school?
In high school.
You didn't go to university here at all, right?
Nope.
So
No.
in high school, let's say high school.
Yeah.
Did you
No.
feel that?
No, not at all. I wasn't popular among girls because I wasn't a tough guy. As I said, I'm a soft person, right?
I mean, that's my observation. I don't know how girls perceive that.
I mean, girls like it as a like if it gets serious, like a connection or like a relationship.
Yeah.
And a lot of the girls like it. Like my first girlfriend, for example, she also liked it. And I think a lot of people like that.
Is she from here?
She's from Estonia, yeah.
Mm.
And but I mean, I think she liked it. I'm not sure. Maybe she might be the other opinion, but
What's her
no.
name?
Her name
Yeah.
Anastasia.
Okay. She's from here?
She's from here. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Her parents are Russian. I
Okay.
mean, they speak Russian. They're Estonian, but but in high school, like no, I just chilled with other guys, and like we didn't get that much action among girls.
Were you not interested?
I was afraid. I was afraid to approach girls. That's the thing. I didn't have the confidence. Yeah. It's funny because all the other places I had the confidence.
Yeah, you strike me as a very confident man.
Mm-hmm.
At least like you're not afraid to ask me for bread and ham when you come in. Like you feel like I didn't even tell you to, be at home, like
Yeah.
make yourself feel comfortable. No, you just went straight ahead and then
But this also depends on the other person. Like if he or she lets you to be free.
I didn't let you to
Okay. Thank you for listening to this podcast.
But you came into the apartment and I was like, yeah, I like that. It's very like you didn't have that you didn't even ask for like permission to like, can I do this? Can I do that? You just feel very like at ease with the environment, which I appreciate a lot.
And I have to be honest, I wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
Like even in the beginning in Germany, I wasn't like that. I was pretty like holding to myself and really, really observant and like cautious about what other people.
Is this like a
think.
conscious effort to be more open and like?
I think it wasn't conscious today here, but I think it's like subconsciously. Yes, I would think so. Yeah, like to be more chill and
interesting.
like to do something and then ask for permission
Is
later.
Is a neighbor showing up?
Yeah,
it's getting awkward, but we can't hear him.
Her.
So that her.
Her.
That's even worse. That's even worse. Are you distracted now?
I'm very distracted.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Are you distracted?
A bit, especially if something's happening behind my back.
Mm.
Like I'm a sucker for that. Like if I realize something's happening like right away, I have certainty in the things and I get to observe it. It stopped being distracting for me. But if something that have any sort of uncertainty, or I feel like there's something that I don't know, it will be the biggest distraction for me. I want to dig it. I want to dig it out. I know it might not be that significant of a deal, but I want to dig it out. That's like a personal thing.
Interesting, because like I got the feeling that the Chinese are people who really like they deal well with uncertainties.
You think?
Yeah,
I think that too. I think it's I don't know if it's a good quality, to be honest.
for
Like, I
me
think
it is.
sometimes letting it go, like just be okay with things being uncertain, is a great advantage in life.
Yeah.
You get less stressed out. But I get stressed out so often.
That's what I'm saying. You're not the average like Chinese.
Like I get
person.
stressed out over things that doesn't really matter. I don't get it. Like there are important things for Chinese people. Like at least like in my social circle, I can't speak for the entire 1.3 billion people. But I'm saying in my immediate circle, it's hard for me to frame them into like a certain category, but I would say they're like the middle class, living in the city, my folks and me, we're like that. We rarely go out of our environment. We have like a certain small group of friends. We go to certain school. We're trying to get into the best school we can all the time, middle school, high school, university. And once we graduate, we're trying to secure one of those. Either we're working a national, I guess, a state company, or we strive to become like a civil servant serving the government, or working for a multinational corporate. Those are like the good jobs, right? And that was going to be my...
Or being a teacher.
Not
Isn't it?
just teacher, professor.
Professor.
You got teaching university or college.
Yeah.
Like high school. Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. That's yeah. But anyway, those are the ideal job, and that's going to be the trajectory that I would aim for. In my amongst people around me, everybody were looking for it, and I was looking at that life as well. But I don't know. It's just, isn't that scary? That's stressing me out. The thought about that stressed me out. To work in a company for the rest of your life.
I was more thinking about like a certain example of time.
What do you mean?
Like sense of time.
Yeah.
In China.
Yeah.
That I got is that like people are always late, and it's okay.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's fine, and it's, or like you said about the podcast, like
Yeah.
You were and said like if you don't think that you want to come, or like if it's a bad time,
Yeah.
like you can say like the day before and it's okay, like
Yeah.
that you cannot come.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly the thing that I was thinking about
Mhm.
and I'm always comparing Germans with Chinese because I was with German people there, and from a German university. So like for Germans, it was constantly a problem that nothing was regulated, like starting from traffic and ending with like the university, like bureaucracy, and people were
Nothing's regulated in Germany.
no in China.
Oh, okay.
Like when the German group was in China, when I
Mhm.
was with them there, they were very frustrated that they had to like
Because of the chaos.
exactly. And I was loving it. I was at home. I mean, I hadn't felt that good in a while.
Why? Why do you like the chaos? Is it the freedom?
Yeah, it gives me a sense of freedom. Yeah, because I mean I'm. You should see my room, for example, in Laula's my.
I
my
don't
home.
want to.
Yeah, I think you don't. It's like
It's messy.
it's messy, and I might seem like in Germany you have like the ordentlich, the word, which is
Mhm.
like tidy.
Sounds
person.
bad.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm. But I don't know. I think
But I'm not. And I loved it in China.
I think I hate that. The disorder. I love Japan. They got water there, man. It's a weird set of water, but it's nonetheless it's water. I can't take anarchy, man. Like that's destructive. Like if I want to get anything done, you need some sort of a schedule. Like this podcast. Let's say if we're doing it the German way, and you're like 40 minutes late. I'm like, fuck it. I got better thing to do. I gotta go kayak. I got things scheduled after this.
I would like to go kayak. I cannot come today.
Yeah, like imagine that. Just because of your disorderly behavior, everybody's gotta pay. Well, by everybody I mean me. But now we're sitting here. We're still doing the podcast. Thanks to what? Thanks to
Your tolerance.
the tolerance, bro. The tolerance. The ultimate tolerance.
Maybe you should call the episode like that. The ultimate tolerance.
The ultimate. The ultimate tolerator.
The ultimate tolerator. With the douchebag Andreas.
Should we introduce you finally?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Do you put some effects here afterwards?
I want to.
Din,
Like,
din, din,
there's all those
din,
buttons.
din.
do you see those?
Yeah, can
Like
I push that?
You can program some kind of a sounding there. Right now, there's nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah. Nothing's happening.
Just the light.
But, well, if you program something in there, like clapping sound or like dun 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 dun, then
Oh,
next
yeah.
time you can play it.
On today's show,
Yeah. Yeah.
Andreas in the mail.
You should like record some of the sound you make with your mouth.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, today we have, 38 minutes in and we're introducing the guests. Good job, Pinchon. But yeah, glad you guys made it this far. If you're listening to this, it's the 4th episode of Never Off the Boat. And today we had the pleasure of having Andreas on the show. Andreas is a friend of mine and we have known each other for quite a while now. He speaks Chinese. I think that's the only reason why I like this dude.
Ouch.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really a cool thing. We finally made this happen. Like, are you friend with any of the? Well, we met through mutual friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say mutual friends. Through a mutual family that we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Who are you particularly friends with? Like with Gamberg family.
Like out of their family?
Yeah. Like who are you friends with, or you just generally? You guys always kind of like hang out in family unit.
I mean, so far we have been together with the whole family. Yeah. I mean, I think I talk and chat the most with Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your contact.
Yeah.
Okay. How many friends do you have in Estonia?
7.
It's a very specific number. It's a fucking joke.
That was a joke.
It's a joke again. Fuck you, man. I got it.
Yeah. No.
Don't do it with Don't do it with a serious face. Next time, give me a little hint, like a wink or something.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got it. That's good. That's good.
How many?
The podcast is really good for that. Like to get to know each other also.
How many?
I have no idea.
Is it like in the ballpark number? Give me one.
I mean, I have like, I would say a couple of like really, really good friends that can count on like one, like on the finger, one hand fingers.
Okay.
That they're like really good from my like childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man.
That's one of the.
I know, sorry, I just want to say that like
Go ahead.
I know, I was actually thinking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
That, and you mentioned it today as well, that you are like that we both are like the bland man, right?
Yeah.
That we can like, and for survival we can we fit into every group, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm a little bit similar to that because I can be friends with everybody really, like almost everybody really, and I feel pretty well in everybody's companion, or in every group, and in this sense I have a lot of friends. But like real friends that I can like really do these kind of jokes that I've been doing right now as well, and you're starting to get a little bit. There are not that many.
Okay.
So, but I think that's like really really good to have like this kind of base,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of people who really really like get you, and then just other people who are like really really good friends.
I see. Are they all Estonians? The real good ones.
The real good one. No, like 2 other are Germans as well.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they all male?
Nope.
You have girl false friend.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in Germany.
Huh. Are you in a relationship right now?
Nope.
Oh,
Can I touch your knee?
That's why, man. Can I touch your penis?
Yes. That was good. That was good. We're getting there.
Have you ever been in a relationship?
I have. 1, 2, 3. Let's
4,
say
5, 6, 7.
4. Like 4 times. Let's say 3. It wasn't. The 4th was really really short.
Okay. Are they all Estonians? Foreigners?
Nope.
Okay.
All are different nationalities. Estonian,
Norwegian.
and then Malaysian, half Chinese.
Wow. What else? The last one. The real short one.
And that was from Belize.
Oh, that's cool. You're really not picky, huh?
What can I do, man?
Yeah. You're not a racist now, I know. Or maybe you are. That's
Maybe
why
I-
you're sampling everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my cover.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Shit. Can we end this podcast now?
No, definitely. We're tapping into the juice now.
Okay.
All right. What? Do you have something racist to say about Chinese people?
But Chinese people mouth stinks.
What do you mean? Like physically
Like
stinks?
literally stinks.
Do you want to smell mine?
Yeah, please. No, it's really good. Oh, it's really good. It's even good. I would like to have a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. No, but I remember one time with a Chinese taxi driver,
Yeah.
and the windows were closed, and we were driving somewhere, and then at some point I'm feeling trash, like the smell of trash,
Mm-hmm.
and bad rotten fish and everything together. And I was looking out the window. I mean, sometimes you have these kind of smells on the street, right?
Yeah.
But then I saw that the windows are closed. I was in the back seat, and then I was puzzled, like what the hell? Where does this come from? And then he kept talking, and it kept coming in waves, like exactly the waves, like he was speaking.
Are you on the back seat?
I was in the back seat, yeah.
Wow, that's quite some distance.
That was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it had to like bounce from the windshield to the back because he wasn't like talking like that.
Jesus Christ.
So that was bad.
That's why you were hesitant to date a Chinese girl, huh? Besides the mustache, is the smell of the mouth.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the reason? Like, if you have a theory.
I think it's a couple of things. Genetics in a way that I cannot explain, and maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think when the other thing is like eating speed of eating. Like, because Chinese people, they just put everything in their mouth as fast as possible.
Okay.
Because they want to be like they don't want to lose time, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to study all the time, at least the
Yeah.
students, or
Efficiency.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just like they have a big bowl of like malatang,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just like
What is it for those people who don't know what malatang
yeah,
is?
malatang is like a hot soup with noodles. I mean, you can put it together yourself. Basically,
It's
doesn't have to
basically
be-
like an easy version of hot pot, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Self-serving hot pot.
Usually have like a you can choose from between different things, meat, vegetables, and then you just put it together. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's one of the things. And
It must happen to you so often. That's why you bring it up. Like the moment I ask, you're like, you guys fucking stink in your mouth.
yeah, it did. It actually did. And I think smoking is another thing, and that it really makes your teeth turn brown and black.
Mm-hmm.
So that a lot among taxi drivers and older men in China.
What about those guys and girls who you hang out most with? I imagine you don't hang out with taxi driver and older folks all the time, right? It's mostly university students or people of your age.
No, it's constantly in taxis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. But those like early 20s, do they smoke? I don't know. I haven't been there for such a long time.
Mm-mm. At Zhejiang University where I was,
Yeah.
no,
Right?
very. What's that word in English? Like 努力的学生,
Hardworking, yeah.
hardworking, yeah. Like they were constantly studying, no free time. Like the only people I was hanging out with, like really hanging out with, were the international students.
They don't even have time to hang out with you, man.
Yeah, and there was one Chinese guy that I was hanging out in the evenings sometimes as well. But like with the Chinese people, I was actually the majority of the time with Chinese students, not with the internationals. But it was during the day or during like evenings, just when we were in a group,
Mm-hmm.
when it was like this, what's that called? Like not the Patient band, but like the, for example, a guitar group.
Okay.
Like people came together.
Like club activities?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
this club activities.
Mhm.
And they do a lot of these kind of things, but no partying, no nothing. Like it's almost zero.
Like that's a bizarre thing that I kind of noticed. Like people work so hard. People work so hard back home. Like I think there's something that just got wired differently once you keep doing that for a long time. Your head works differently after you do it for a while.
Yeah, it becomes a habit.
I don't know what it is. Like it almost feel like you can't unwind, you can't relax fully. There's always something kind of poking on your back, like saying like you're not working. Somebody's gotta be ahead of you now.
That's why I think like, what was her name? Li Ziqi, right? Like the
YouTuber,
YouTuber, right?
yeah, Li Ziqi.
Li Ziqi, right?
Yeah.
The lady who went to the countryside and makes everything herself and
Yeah.
makes these really good videos, really calm. And that's why it's so popular.
You know why? Like it scares me like to watch her video is because it reminds me of that series called Black Mirror.
Why is that?
It almost feel like the reality is sucks so much now. We need that kind of a relief. It's sort of like an outlet. We know majority, I would say 99.99% of people wouldn't have the luxury of making their own. I don't know. What does he do? Like he make all kinds of stuff out of natural material.
Your blankets and
Yeah.
beds and yeah.
In natural environment, all handmade, very retro style, you know, like hand making things. Most people don't do that. Almost nobody do that. Especially doing it so artfully and so beautifully. No, people don't have that patience. If I want a blanket, I'll go buy a blanket.
And IKEA.
Yeah, I buy a blanket, man. Like you wouldn't go all the way to like. There was one video when it was really insane. He went all the way to sheep farmer and exchanged wool with a sheep farmer with some of the stuff he grew in the farm, and then took back the sheep wool and then processed it and then made, I think, some sort of a cape with it. So the whole process took literally 1.5 years, because first you have to grow something
Oh wow.
in order to exchange the sheep
Right.
wool. 1.5 year, man. That's not gonna happen for most of the people.
How funny would it be? Wait, I think I need a cape. Oh, right. Okay, let's plant some carrots.
So that's the thing. It's very scary because we're now so detached from, let's say, I hate to use a word like a normal pace of life, but it's really fast paced. Here in Estonia, I don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like here, I feel very relaxed. Like I still have some kind of a flashback from the past. I still kind of feel occasionally like I'm still trying to be more competitive, trying to do more things. But most of the time, I feel pretty relaxed. Like on a Sunday afternoon, doing a podcast with my plant sitting behind you and a big water jug sitting on the ground to vitamin water.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Vitamin Well.
Do not say that.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Like the contrast is so big.
Yeah, it is. Like, and also like it's interesting to think about. Like, Estonians are known to be effective. Like, it's one of the thing people know this place for, efficiency. Like, there are so many things being promoted on social media or just general public, to the general public. Like, just Estonians are effective. They're down to earth. They do things quick. Tax return, for example, internet everywhere. You know, people vote online and all that. It's being promoted as an effective, efficient country. But if we're really talking about efficiency, it's not even close to what's happening in China.
I mean, one thing is like the efficiency in state governance or bureaucracy. The other thing is like efficiency with time, or like personal.
Yeah, on a personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, things get done pretty slowly, I would say, here. Like, just to fix like a very small patch of road, people take their time. You know, they first put up the sign, and if the weather is not good, they put like the tractor on the side of the road for a few days, sitting in the rain. And then they go away, do whatever they do.
Eat some hot dogs.
Yeah. And then, yeah. And then when the weather got better, they come back and it might get too hot, so they wait for the evening. They really take their time. They made a road bump just around the corner over there. Took 2 weeks, man. It's a road bump.
Guys, we have to here's our project. Road bump.
No joke, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
They closed that section of the road for 2 weeks straight for a road bump.
Oh, so they closed the whole road?
Yeah, they did, because it's a road bump. It covers the entire road, right? For a very small section for people to slow down when they're turning the corner. But the road was closed for 2 weeks. It was really inconvenient for all the people who want to go out. Because this is a dead end, almost like a dead end right here, right? You either go out from this side or the other side. The other side already got 3 road bumps. So it's like an awful choice. Normally I would go this side because they only got 1 road bumps. But now they got 2. I'm not complaining about...
This side they got 3, right?
Yeah. Now almost sounds like I'm complaining about the road bump. I'm not. Like, let's go back on track with what we're talking about, efficiency. I think what really interesting...
Sorry, man. What is happening?
No worry. Is it better?
Yeah. Now it is. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Perfect. Sorry.
I've been thinking a lot about this whole concept about efficiency, really. Like, I feel like my parents sometimes get mad at me for not doing enough in Estonia. They feel like this place is escape for me. Like, living here is sort of like I found myself a secret little garden with nobody bothering me because there's no relative, no friends to keep me on track. And they feel like I'm lacking off. Like, they say, like, I'm not doing things I'm supposed to be doing, which I'm not sure what that is. But for me, I feel like this is a very effective time for me. Like, in the past 5 years, I have accomplished so much. I would have never done that back home in China. I published 1 book myself. I have done quite some YouTube videos that I'm not necessarily proud of, but proud of. I'm doing the podcast thing. I have done a few jobs, odd gigs here and there. working in the university in all kinds of capacity. I do admin stuff, and I teach a few classes on the side as well. So with all this opportunity, they still think I'm not doing enough, because for them, these are not things. I think you understand what I mean.
I
Like,
totally do. Yeah.
these are not legit stuff. This doesn't help you achieving your ultimate goal, which is what? Like,
Getting a lot of money,
yeah, like a stable, upwarding career, I guess, right?
supporting the family.
Yeah. To them, this is like hobby. It's have no difference from kayaking, I would say. Like, what is a podcast with Andreas got to do to you? Besides getting your knee touched regularly. Not much, man.
Yeah.
So they don't understand that, and they think I'm wasting my time. Like, this whole concept of wasting my time is bothering them so much. Like, they want to get things done. Like, in their head, like, I'm 28. I should get things figured out. I should be ultra focused on my only and one goal, that is getting a stable career. Everything else is optional. To be honest, everything else should go.
And do you feel pressured?
I don't, because it's not here. That's why I'm not going home, man.
So you're afraid?
I'm not afraid. I think it's just like, I don't want to disappoint them. You see, like, I can't change my parents. Like, the only thing I can do is try and avoid confrontation with them. I don't know how to sell them on the idea of, like, you know, taking things easy is actually more effective sometimes. Like, you need to take care of your mental health. When I tried to talk to them about mental health once, it didn't go well. Like, they think I'm some kind of a bougie little spoiled little brat, like, talking about mental health. Like, it's non-existent to them. Like, if you have some problem in your head, they're like, just get over it. Do you know what is a real problem? Starving kids. That's a real problem. You got no problem. You have all the food you want. You even go to the gym. What is that for? That's crazy talk. Like, you just walk occasionally. That's enough exercise for you. And then when you have more time, go study or find a job. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
Reminds me of China.
remind you of China. Nobody pressure you into that, though.
No. It reminds me of like the China experience. Not that I had this pressure, but like what I saw there. I mean, like people, especially the walking, like in 5 a.m. in the morning, people already walking on the stadium.
But don't you think, like, the world need those people?
Certainly, but I think the world needs them, and especially China for its like development and its economy. But like the question is, if like at what price?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is paying the price? And the kids, they were like almost none of them were happy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not the one who judges this. I mean, maybe they really like studying hard.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but there might be some. But one place where I saw that people were really happy and enjoying themselves was, for example, the club activities, like the guitar
The
group.
club activities.
Welcome to the club.
Everybody put your hands up in the
air. Yeah, no, but like when we were playing together, guitar together or singing, and like this was such a relief. I could see it in their faces. Like,
right.
Finally, like I don't have to study, right?
Huh.
So it's a tough and it's a very high price to pay. And
Definitely.
I
don't
mean,
know.
It's everywhere, sure. Like even in Europe and in the States, sure. If you are in your 20s, you should it's normal to find like a stable job, and people want more money. People want think about their
Definitely.
careers and their even their pension and then like their parents. Even I got the little bit of this fear when I was in China to think like oh man, these Chinese people, these young people are working and studying their asses off, and I'm like on Fridays like partying here with these other students, and like I started to think about my parents, like what happens when I have to like support them, and when does that happen, especially.
What do you mean?
Like when, for example, if they cannot like
Work anymore?
Yeah, work, or if they cannot pay, they don't have enough money, and then like I should fill the gap, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Like,
Do you feel that need?
I mean, not now, but I just being in China, I got the vibe from other young people that because they have this pressure.
That's the thing that confuses
I got it
me.
as well.
Like, people can't keep saying that. Like, the young people in China are working so hard because they have a sense of family value. They want to support the family. They want to support their own family, their parents, and whatever. But actually, they never do. Like, it's always the other way around. It's like, I don't know. Like, they have that sense of urgency to kind of do their own things, but it's motivated by the wrong reason. Oh, what? Fuck, I'm saying the wrong reason again. Yeah, it's motivated by a very different kind of reason from the one I believe in, you know? What is it? Like, what do you want? There's this one student I teach online. Like, these days, I trying to get multiple source of income. So I also teach people English online. I wouldn't call him Chinese kid because he's older than me. He's in his 30, I think late 30s. And he's like a project manager in a big security firm in China. Very well off. One kid, one wife, big apartment, downtown Nanjing. Very respectful man. Yeah, he found me a couple months ago, and we started learning English together. Horrible English, but understandably so. I like working with him, but you know, as time passes, we started to form some sort of a friendship. I feel like I could open up to him. He's like really like a brother figure to me right now. And he was just asking me the other day. He said, "Hey, like, what are you doing these days exactly?" I said, "I go to university. I'm trying to get my doctorate. Trying to graduate and then maybe teach somewhere." And he was just, "Well, how much money do you guys gotta make once you graduate?" Like, well, no, first of all, like, how much do you make right now as a doctorate student? I say this much, and he's like, "That's peanuts." He didn't say peanuts. There's no expression like that in Chinese, but he said something like, "That's nothing." Like, "Are you sure you want to work there? You can come back. I can find you a gig. No problem. Like, it's gotta be way more than that." And I said, "Nah, I really feel passionate about it." So when I say I feel passionate about it, he's like, "Oh, really? So after you graduate, you gotta earn bucks. You gotta earn a lot, right?" I said, "Well, not really. Like, if I graduate, this is how much like the average pay is going to be for a university lecture." And he was shocked. I was like, "Why are you doing this? All this year wasted." Literally, he said that. All this year wasted. I was like, "Well, sorry. I don't know what to say." He was really caring. Like, he didn't say it in any kind of a mean or vicious way, you know? You can tell from the intention. But that's a mentality. Like, I think he really think it was a waste of my time to be doing that. And I don't know, man. I think that's something I'm still trying to wrap my head around. That is like how to really come to peace with myself, because you have been reinforced with the idea of like you should do it this way in the past 20 years, and all of a sudden the dynamic has shifted, and now you're in a new environment where you feel like you're motivated to do other things. But then there's always this kind of thing on the backside of your head telling you, bad boy, this is not right. You should go back, snap back into the original environment." That is awful, man.
And does this feeling come from yourself or from your like parents?
Definitely from inside.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's heavy, man. Like, I don't want to continue this way. It's getting heavier and heavier.
This podcast is sponsored by Vitamin Well.
No, it's not.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, it's not. Andreas.
Pinchan.
You don't have any Chinese friend, even though you speak Chinese.
Not in Estonia, no. So far, you're the only Chinese friend in Estonia.
There's a lot of us, man. You see more and more.
Let's meet up. Do you like? Are you?
No, I don't have any Chinese friend here.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
I thought you were like, hey man, we have this group of Chinese people here who want to meet you.
No,
Let's
no.
go.
Nobody want to meet you.
Oh, right.
Do you notice that there's more and more Chinese these days in town?
Mhm.
Like, well, not after the COVID thing, but before that, you see them more and more often. Not only in Old Town anymore. There are more students. There are more people working here. That's what my impression was.
Okay. I haven't seen. I mean, I'm not in town that often either, but I totally believe you
How do you feel about it?
that Chinese people are on the streets
Yeah,
working here.
yeah.
I like it. I mean, it shows that it's more open now. The world that people really do care about Estonia as well. That they come here, not only the tourists, but the companies as well. I mean, I would really like to get to know like more people because I haven't even the friends in China. I actually, to be totally honest, I haven't been in contact with them like for the last couple of weeks, and so yeah, I miss the genuine Chinese contact.
Like, do you feel like you can actually form a genuine connection
With the Chinese
with
person?
somebody? Like, have you done it? I'm not saying can you, like, because you haven't met every single Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
But have you felt it in your experience so far?
Nope,
Hmm.
not yet. It's it takes time. Especially with the people that I met in China,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time.
Does it take time for them or more like for you?
Oh, sorry. I think for both, but it's especially. I mean, I can't say more for me or more for them. I don't know, but it definitely takes a lot of time for me. Yeah, it's the cultural difference, the language, and everything combined.
I don't feel any culture difference with you. We both like SNL.
That's the thing I've been telling you. You're not the average Chinese man. You're different in a good way.
I don't get it.
I don't either. It's just like it's a vibe kind of thing. You feel one person one way and you feel another person the other way. And I mean the fact that we can just we can just like I can touch your knee as a joke, and like you don't get like really offended.
How do you know?
It's
How do you know I'm not offended?
at least I don't see it in your eyes. Let's say like what I saw in
You can
in
see
China.
my eyes?
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's good. Now you're countering. That's really really good. I like that. So it's like the deep connection never actually was there with the Chinese friends that I had on campus.
Ah, man, I don't know. Like, it kind of make me feel sad hearing you saying this. The wind is blowing.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
I like this. I don't know, man. Like, I get this sometime. People say it as a compliment, like you just did. Like, oh, you're not like very Chinese. They said it in the best way possible, but I really lack the understanding. What is a Chinese? Like, is there like is there a standard Chinese out there I don't know about? Like,
It's funny how you said it in a Chinese accent right now. Is there a standard Chinese I don't know about?
I really have no idea. Like, is there somebody
No,
out?
obviously there's not. I mean, there is no median or average person. It's just like it's a statistical thing. But with cultures, it's a very dangerous line or a dangerous path to go. I mean, like is he like an average Chinese, or is she one? Like you can never say, but it's the accumulation of these experiences that you have as a person, right? In this country.
Yeah.
And this makes up a picture, and there's like some trends like that you see in one culture that you don't see in another one.
Like, generally I get I get really, I wouldn't say generally negative, but I'm very critical of a person, not only towards Chinese but towards almost everybody. even myself. I guess if you're critical towards yourself, it's like reflective. I'm not sure, but I'm ultra critical about everybody and including myself. And in that way, I don't really align with any kind of a value out there. I kind of try to form my own belief system and my own kind of set of value. But it's always changing, man. Like it's always fluid and never kind of settled down. I think that's the reason why I feel like I'm a little bit eccentric in that sense. Like I don't really know when is that gotta become a stable thing. It's always like changing on a daily basis. If I feel like something is not fitting in the person that I want to become, or it wouldn't benefit me as an individual anymore, I ditch it in a snap of a finger. It happened real quick, just like that, bro. So maybe the day that you didn't see me, I was super Chinese. I was that standard Chinese man. Yeah.
好吃，好吃。
Dude, you're making this super
racial.
Super racial. But there's truth in that.
Yeah, no.
They eat
I mean,
super quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
There's truth in that.
I just wanted to start defending myself that I'm not racist, but I think there's no point in that.
That boat is gone already.
No, I mean, it's
Never off the boat.
Yeah. I don't mind Chinese people also doing jokes about Estonians, but I've never seen anybody do that because they don't know what Estonia is.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Your irrelevancy is the only joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Estonia? Is that a brand? Was this the name of the phone that I got last year?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. Like I feel like Do you have any question for me?
Are you single?
Yeah.
Perfect. This podcast ends now.
It took me a second. It took me a second to let that sink in. I'm really slow with getting jokes, especially new ones. Yeah, like
it's a good a refreshing thing.
Whenever like I'm not getting a joke, I just look very blankly, kind of like, because it's internally is working to figure out what the fuck is happening, but outside I'm just like.
Now I get it.
And when you get it sometime, that's too late to laugh because you already made that stupid dumb face for like the past 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And now if you all of a sudden change into a smiley one, people think you're stupid. My defense mechanism is I just don't do anything. I make that person who said the joke to feel bad.
That's a good one, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't laugh at all. And then make them feel insecure. I'm gonna do this stand-up this Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah, finally.
No, didn't you do that on Monday already?
I was gonna do it, but Louis told me that I was too late on the signing up. Okay. Yeah, it was an English open mic, so it would have been perfect, but I think it would be even better because this one is all in Estonian, and I'm gonna be one of the few.
Wait, you're doing it in Estonian?
No, I'm gonna do it in Estonian show, but I will do it in English.
Tere päevast. My nimi is Vincent.
But yeah, I don't know. I have this bit I have been working on for a while, and I think it's really funny. Crack myself up.
You want to do a little part of it now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Nah, it's the entire set. After we turn this off, I'm gonna do it to you exclusively. Yeah.
Sorry, audience.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like, I guess I have this one last question that is really burning.
Please.
I wonder, like, if you, like, the general impression so far I got, like, is you're not, you're one of those, like, I was saying, I wouldn't even go as far to say you're neutral. You are also very critical about, things you have seen in China and after you got exposure to Chinese culture and whatever. Like, how do I frame this question?
With wood.
Yeah. Wait a sec. Like, why are you still doing it? Like, why are you still learning Chinese? Why you still want to go back to China? You know, like working somehow related to it. Like what's in it?
But why wouldn't I?
Sorry.
Why wouldn't I?
If somebody's mouth stink, I don't want to be around them. Like, that's the most straightforward answer I have for you.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, I talk about like some experience that I had in China. Some are negative, some are very positive, and I mean that's the beauty of every country. It makes, and we put them together, and that's what it is.
No,
And
there must be something you cannot tolerate.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say specifically for China, but there's
Sure.
some culture element or practice that I just wouldn't say that I can just, live and let live.
It's sometimes the vagueness of people in China, that they're not straightforward. They want to like 有面子, right? Like they want to keep the face, and they just don't say things how they are, and that sometimes pisses me off. Or like, it's annoying. But I mean, these are like these, I would say, small things that are just part of Chinese culture, and I find it so fascinating, and that because it's so exotic and it's so far away from like the culture that I was born in.
What is the culture you're born in?
The Estonian one.
Which is
like you go to the forest, you pick some mushrooms, you put them on a pan, and you eat them,
and you get food poisoning.
You get food poisoning. and then you look it up on your iPad in the middle of the forest because the internet is so good. But I mean, I also think about the future as in there's something special in it that I can speak Chinese. Obviously, I'm not the only one in Estonia. There are like many people who can do that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there are. I think somebody told me that around 70 people.
Like, who can speak Chinese?
No, who are like speak really well, like on HSK 6 level.
70.
70, I think. Yeah,
that's a small number.
Yeah, it's not a big number at all.
Yeah.
And so I really find this kind of special, right? And I like this
being special.
Yeah, I like being special.
I get that.
And
for me, it's like I think it's really different. Like, I do not tolerate cultural differences.
Right.
Like, either I accept it or no. Like, that's it. Like, the reason why I'm here is because I don't feel any cultural difference.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Like, the reason why I'm not in the States, like, I was playing with the idea of going to the States at one point. And I visited, actually, a couple years back. No, there was a huge culture difference. And I don't get how they're doing things there. I don't understand. It's that mentality they have. America first. We're number one. No, you're not number one, man. Like, maybe in movies, you make a few good movies here and there. But no, like, I don't like that mentality. I never feel like I'm number one. I'm very happy with being number 2 and number 3. That's my sweet spot. But here, I don't feel like any cultural difference. When I first came here, there was a culture shock, which is different from culture difference. Culture difference, in my opinion, is something that you can never assimilate into. Like, it's always there. You either tolerate it, you stomach it, or you just ignore it. Whatever. You can't change it because it's not your culture. You never accept it as a part of you. I can't do that. Like, it's not my way of dealing with things. I either like swallow it, integrate it, and make it a part of me, or I'll just I'm what's that expression in English? I can't have that sand in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gotta, even though it's such a small thing, it's gotta bother me like forever. Like, here, I think I understand all the social etiquette. I know, like, pretty much all the things I need to do to be me, and at the same time being respectful and being in peace and being good terms with the people around me and not making them feel extremely uncomfortable. And I do it with ease because there's no barrier to hurdle through. So in your case, like, obviously you have things that you feel like you want to keep distance with, you know, like there are some practices over there that I don't know, you disagree with, or you feel like it's not you, or yeah, but you can still do it, which is really different from me, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the long term, it's still very tiring to like trying to assimilate into Chinese culture for me, because it even was tiring in the end of the exchange year,
Yeah.
and it was only 1 year, and like in the end, I was just about to tell you that what I miss the most is, or one of the things that I miss the most is the food, right, on the streets in China.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
I hated it.
Like baozi and jiaozi and like
I
the
hated
dumplings
those,
and
they're
everything.
so greasy.
But like in the end, I couldn't eat Chinese food. I just couldn't. It was too much. It was.
What was too much?
I don't know.
The flavor?
the MSG or the
MSG.
yeah.
It's getting real.
Yeah. I guess the flavor and the it was. It's funny to say that, but it was just turning too one-sided for me. It was obviously it's so rich, but I just can't. I couldn't. I had to eat burgers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
I wouldn't.
I think it's the phenomenon with China when you've been there, when you don't really plan on like living there or working there for like the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
When just go in and just experience it. It's that it comes in and goes in waves.
Mm-hmm.
You go there, it's one time it's fun. You go back and you go the next time you really hate it, and it is like a love-hate relationship with, and it's not only me but a lot of other people.
I don't like that expression at all.
Yeah,
A love-hate relationship. What exactly is that supposed to mean? Like, even if you love something, I know it sounds kind of corny. For me, I think if I love something, like I try to accept like the part that I think is not cool. Estonia is not a perfect place, but I love the place. So kind of blindside me on things that I also might not like, but because I have this pink glasses on, everything's perfect. So it's hard to pinpoint like what I don't like about this place. I know there's something probably there, but I don't think about it. Yeah. I really have something I don't like about China. And I know it's there. And I know what it is. That's why it's tough. I don't think I will ever live there again. Maybe not in Estonia, like forever. But China is the only place I would not go to. I don't hate the place. I'm sorry. It sounds like I hate the place. Anywhere in the world would be fine. Just not there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very familiar. It almost makes you feel nasty. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, imagine this. You're in a lukewarm pool, and that's called China. You've been swimming there for 18 years. You know every inch of it. It's lukewarm. That's a key word. Lukewarm. Not very warm, not very cold. It doesn't stimulate you. It makes you feel at ease. Make you feel slimy all over your body. And then once you got out, you went to a different place, a different pool. Might be a smaller pool, might be a bigger pool. Different temperature, different scent, different size, different texture in there. Different people swimming around you. I would never go back to that pool. Just too slimy. That sliminess, it made me feel disgusted. I think it kind of tie into the concept you just told me about. Sometimes people are not straightforward. I'm very straightforward.
Again, case in point that you're not the average Chinese.
And that kind of make me feel slimy if I have to kind of play along with people who are not straightforward, because you can't just blame them. You can't just straight like throw it at their face. Like, can you just say what you want to say? Like, that's rude.
Yep.
Have you done that?
Nope.
Right? Like, you kind of have to play along if you want the conversation to kind of go on. You kind of have to like poke around and make sure like, it's still going somewhere. And I hate that. Like, even when we're students, like, I expect this kind of thing to kick in when you actually transform into like, what in Japanese call it shakaijin. I guess people who work in the society, like a working man. if that's a stage where you're gonna become more sophisticated and more fake and more wearing a mask, like I can tolerate that. But students, like you're so familiar with that practice, you start to do it when you're 20. Like that's weird. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. It feels like it's a session about bashing how bad Chinese is, but it's not. I think we have been pretty critical about it, but
I think you just want to, like, you want to develop all the time, right? You want to constantly develop, learn more things, and exactly if you find that China is a lukewarm pool that is not stimulating you,
I guess it's
then
all
you
about
obviously
that
want
growth.
Yeah,
It's always about that, I think.
and you want the be out of the comfort zone, right? And it's, I think that's one thing that it's similar with me, that I'm looking for places to not necessarily to feel uncomfortable in, but it just to help myself grow.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's what China is really offering.
Well, I wish you good luck, man. I know you're going back soon.
Yeah.
Hope you're coming back.
That sounds like
With
like
all
an
your-
evil plan that you're.
with all your limbs.
Oh, Andreas, where's your hand? Oh yeah, I sold it.
Do you feel it's safe there for you?
It's super safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very safe.
I feel the same. It's one of the good thing. Like, I never felt threatened. But yeah, is there anything that you want to say?
I just call, I just say,
Yeah.
I love you. I just call, I just say how much I care. Today's podcast is sponsored by Vitamin Well.
Okay, let's play along. Yeah, it is. Okay.
It is. It finally is.
It is now.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have any more questions. Do I
Okay.
get a grade for this? A diploma or something?
You get like a B plus.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a B plus.
I was the second person or the third one in
You're
the
the second one
Second
that got on the Potter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I got the silver medal.
No, you don't. It's reserved.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks anyway. It was a great experience. Like without any irony.
It was. I like it too. Like every single time I think I get to talk to somebody, I try not to do it with people I already know very well. Because then there's like, you kind of repeat yourself and you're asking questions you obviously know the answer to. I don't like that. It's kind of like always more fun to kind of get somebody who you don't know a lot about, but you have like a little bit of understanding of what the person is. You explore a lot more.
Absolutely.
I don't know. You're very defensive of a person.
Defensive.
Yeah, you're very you have like a good mechanism to. I wouldn't say you're insincere. You're definitely sincere and honest and straightforward. I really appreciate that. But I think maybe it's not even you. Maybe it's me. But I feel like it's really hard for you to open up on certain topic, or especially on personal level. I think for you, you're more comfortable talking about like general topic that is very distant from you, and you have like that distance to kind of like, yeah, this is what, right? But when things get personal, I think you get a little bit elusive, a little bit, sneaky with your maneuver. Yeah, I hate that shit.
I hate you. But hey, we can do another podcast episode then to go more personal.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to approach it. It's almost. Do you know those fish? That is really slimy. They kind of slip.
Angerias?
I don't know what they're called.
Like they're fish?
Yeah.
Angerias.
Yeah, you're like one of those.
Oh yeah.
You kind of like just.
It's my middle name actually.
Yeah.
Andreas Angerias Meltz.
That's so cool.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is now.
Oh, well, it can be.
Sponsored by Vitamin Water.
This podcast is sponsored by Angerias.
But yeah, like, are you like is it just like a personal preference? You don't want to talk about personal stuff, or is it more like
I think so. I think it's that, and I think it's also because I don't know you that well yet, that I'm like not opening up that fast. I mean, I can open up with people pretty fast on the first it's not a first meeting between us, but like in the beginning, but it's more on a superficial level.
Yeah.
And then I need more time to like go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we can actually like do sometime later another
Mhm.
podcast episode
Yeah.
to talk more deeply.
Definitely. I want to hear about all those girlfriend story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I want to hear all those girlfriend story. I know there's something that I couldn't poke around on this podcast, but let's do it next time. Yeah.
You do have that beep thing here, right?
What is a beep thing?
Like if you don't want something to be in the podcast, you can like beep it out.
Yeah, I can beep it.
Perfect. Next time
Yeah.
next time I'm here, you have to use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta beep a lot.
I think beep. Not only swear words, just like the whole
People's
section.
name. Or just whenever you start talking, I'm just beeping.
Andreas, how do you find it? Well, beep. Thank you.
Today we have a guest called Beep. All right, we're done with fourth episode of Never Off the Boat. This is Andreas. Andreas is awesome, I'll say. How do you like it?
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
You're listening to Never Off the Boat.
Never Off the Boat. Bye bye, guys. See you next
Bye-bye.
time. Yo.
Bye bye.